You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
Yeah, that's right, I know your ass. And I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna keep cooking the way I want. Said you wanted to cook, didn't you? Cook that nigga! Anybody wanna make some money, do shit the right way, then please, by all means, stay. But if not, get the fuck out!
All right, man. You getting DP?
Just get the fuck out.
You motherfuckers.
All right. Now what?
Ever cut before?
You serious?
I want to work.
All right.
Oh, it's your boy Lil Koosie from Memphis, Tennessee. Go tap in with my people. Let's Yap About It podcast. It's a problem cast, not a podcast. Gang shit.
So I need to see everyone who has pre-saved the project. That should be everyone in here. And hold your phone up so I know you.
Y'all know what it is. It's the biggest. Fuego Base. I'm with Let's Yap About It podcast. And we ain't a podcast. We a problem cast. You know what I'm saying?
Let's Yap About It. Let's Yap About It. Yap About It podcast. Starring Raw Bass. Let's Yap About It. Let's Yap About It. Let go. We in the mix. Fit too savage. Let's Yap About It. Content was so living, had to pray for all of my children. Now the whole world be listening. Talk to niggas from prison, spoke how they was living, how the COs be tripping. Rappers losing on the back end because promoter dudes keep dipping. Seen the show when the dude started out of bloods, then start crippin'. Stripper niggas stop tipping, out of game niggas stop flipping. Bad attitude, so he had to move just to keep his ass out of prison. Seen a show about a young hoe, fucked on a sister, man, no apology. Let's yap about it. If the bitch come around me, shit, she can holler at me. Check my Instagram, she was following me, cause she knew I be where them dollars be. Rapid funds, but I keep it going, I fuck you up, no apologies. Bit too savage, savage like music.
What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? We are back. We are back. We are back. We are back. You know what I'm saying? Listen. You already know what time it is. You already know. Listen, we are back with a part 2.
a part 2. Listen to me. Corrupt system designed to fail families, part 2. Listen, I had Lil Koosie, man, we had an interesting conversation, especially when it comes to these court custody battles, when it comes to different things like that. But we are in for part 2. There's so much that has been going on. And I'm going to basically break down also with him that the things that have been going on behind the scenes, and I'm going to let him elaborate personally. Why? Because this is something that needs to be talked about on the forefront, okay? But I want to give our introduction. So without further ado, I have to break this down to y'all. Without further ado, listen to me. I want to say this. Welcome to the Let's Yap About It podcast. We are changing the world one conversation at a time. I'm Robert Higgins, your host for tonight's broadcast. Please subscribe, share, and hit the like button to let us know that we appreciate you for tuning in. We appreciate you. The conversation that we're going to have is concrete and tough, but nonetheless, we want to spark the brain, entertain, and most of all, explain in full about what we are yapping about. So thank you for joining me tonight. Now, I want to say this, and I want y'all to understand. Listen, he's fighting for his kids. He spends days at work, nights, living in a place sometimes where it can get empty and there's a lot of emotion that runs through it. He's a father first before anything. And a lot of times in these situations, the legal and the emotional weight is immense. This isn't just a legal process, and I want y'all to understand it. It's an emotional marathon that tests a man's limits. The constant uncertainty that can trigger a serious stress and anxiety. Trust me, I know. He's trying to navigate through a system that feels confusing sometimes, overwhelming. Man, it can get crazy. But the battle is fought in 2 places. Sometimes in the courtroom, sometimes in your head, and then sometimes in your heart. But the main thing, he shows up for his kids consistently, all the time. And I think that this needs to be celebrated and looked at on the forefront. And without further ado, I want to introduce y'all to Lil Koosie, man. Definitely tap in with us. And we definitely thank you for having me, man. We appreciate you.
How y'all doing, man? It's an honor to be back.
Man, there's been so much going on, man. I want to break it down. You know what I'm saying? Get into it. Before you jump into the lawyers and the court dates and all of the paperwork and stuff, I have to start with you, the man. How are you doing, man, since this last conversation that we had? Talk to me.
And I'm blessed. I'm still in good health. Kids in good health. I love them.
Hold on a second. I told y'all this does this when we haven't. Say that one more time. It seemed like you cut in and cut out. See, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. If you can, I'm going to tell him to hit my line, because it seems like when we have these interesting perspectives and conversations, it always wants to get into where we're actually, you know what I'm saying, it's trying to get us to stop from talking about this stuff. I feel like that they purposely do this because we were just on the line fine. Say something. Hold on. Yeah, Kyle, I got you. Just call my line, bro. This is wild. But nonetheless, we're going to have this conversation tonight, man. Shout out to y'all for joining me, for real, for real. Yes, sir. We're going to have this conversation tonight, man. Look. But, like, for anybody, I just want to say this real quick. If you actually, you know what I'm saying, tapping in, listen to me. Man, listen. Like, subscribe, hit that share button. Because, like I say, I address the elephants in the room. These are the conversations that they don't want us to have. They don't want us to connect. Houston, Florida, you know what I'm saying, Chicago, different places that have reached out to me behind the scenes about certain things. I've been getting questions since that last episode in my emails and direct calls. Just, hey, man, I don't know what to do. You know, I'm trying to figure these things out. And we know that the judicial system is very hard when it comes to African Americans in this country. But we are definitely going to have this conversation tonight. We definitely going to tap in, and we definitely going to be doing our thing, because I think that this needs to be talked about on the forefront. You know what I'm saying? And I think with me doing this and me changing the format, it's going to change the narrative. Here he is, none other than my boy Koosie. Tap in with us, man. We glad you're here, man. We glad you're
It's
here.
always a way.
Hey, you already know it's always a way, brother. You know what I'm saying? Now back to it, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to talk about the lawyer court dates and stuff. I want to know how you doing, man. How you been doing lately?
Man, I've been blessed, man. I've been inspiring people. My family, my children, everybody around me that I love is healthy. And I'm just blessed to be in a position where I can help other men and women, through their situation. Some people don't see a way, and they don't see a way out of, the turmoil that they may be facing. So, some people look at me online and may message me, and, my words matter. My actions and my words matter.
Man, absolutely, absolutely. Listen to me. And I want to say this, man. What has been the hardest part of dealing with this right now? Because then, like I say, you've been on the forefront, not just for yourself, but a lot of men, a lot of women are watching, a lot of men that did not know what to do, man. How hard has it been for you these last couple of weeks?
Man, it's been a mental roller coaster. I think the most mental part of it all, man, is just, you have certain people that just don't understand a father's fight.
And that's real. Now, I want to ask this. What are you most worried about for your children?
Not having me around.
And what has that process been like as far as, I know, having to go through the routines of what the court has set in place, but what has been your biggest worry? Is it the safety? Is it the, you know what I'm saying? Is it just your presence in itself? Or has it been a little bit of both and just the emotional connection that they have to you? What's been about that hardest part?
The hardest part, honestly, is for me personally and mentally, man, it's been just not being awarded the time that I deserve with my children. I feel like I miss out sometimes, not being around them, as I should. I mean, if it was up to me, I wish I could be around them every day, but unfortunately, that's not the way, life and the law is set up. So my biggest worry, man, is that, I may miss something important.
And as you've been going through the process, how has your family been taking it? Because I know going through all of the legal jargon and making sure that you adhere to the court proceedings and stuff, how's the family holding up?
Man, to be honest, man, my blood family haven't even been the ones that been on me. It's been my close acquaintances that kind of been on me. They kind of hold me accountable and tell me not to do certain stuff, not to say certain stuff. They help redirect me when they see me going down the wrong path to hit a brick wall. And it may come from frustration and aggravation, with the mother. Or it may be, I really want to say something, but I'm redirected on, don't say it out of emotion. Think before you speak. And that helped me out today in the courtroom.
And I wanted to ask this too, because this actually came to mind when you were talking about your day to day. Who's in your corner day to day? You know what I'm saying? Most of the time when you you know what I'm saying, processing and everything.
It's my oldest daughter, my social media manager, and her son, which is a good friend of mine, and he likes to be my security guard, my personal security guard. That's the gentleman I actually introduced you to. But they kind of, and I have a couple friends that I consider to be my brothers. Mm-hmm. They hold me accountable. They always checking in, asking me how my mental is, how the case going, what's the next steps, what do I plan to do. So it helped uplift me.
You know what I'm saying? Right on, man. It's strength in numbers, bro. It's strength in numbers. It's definitely strength in numbers. Now, I want to ask this question, and you probably never been asked this. What do you actually need from the people right now? You know what I'm saying? That's watching and what have you.
Elaborate when you say need.
Like, say, for instance, that, like, because I know the world has been captivated. You know what I'm saying? You done caught wind of a lot of people. Like, what are you know what I'm saying, as far as the mindset that you want the people to have about you?
that I'm, regardless of whatever mistake that I've made, I'm still human. I still have feelings and emotions. I have a deep love for my children, and I have a right to be in their lives. My time with them shouldn't be limited based on past mistakes or past decisions. I feel that I want people to know that it's vital and it's crucial that I be, a part of my children's lives, because, that's what's keeping me alive. That's what's keeping me making the right decisions. That's what's helping me to be a better person, a better man, and a more loving person for the community. I spread a lot of love around. I use a lot of what I go through to inspire people versus sitting around depressed. So, like I said, at first I was depressed when this case first started, but as I became knowledgeable of how to proceed with this case, I passed that. I paid it forward and passed it along. So I just want people to know that, behind, just whatever people may think or feel about me, that I'm human. I'm a firm believer in God, and everything that I've been through, I'm using what I got out of it to pay it forward to the next person.
And I want to say this too, because when I started posting the clips, you had people on that were, judgmental. You had people that were picking sides and different things like that. But see, trust me, I had your back. Definitely, if you're gonna speak, I definitely want you to come up and I want you to ask questions. I don't want you to hide in the shadows. Don't be interactive or anything. But then finally, when something is clipped off, you could have been a part of the show to speak on it. No,
right.
Give your perspective, because what you may think may not be your perception may not be the reality. And that's where I have to correct people, even when people was coming on for the different things that are talked about that are controversial. Get the facts first before you open up your mouth and say anything. And that's what I pride myself on. See, because me being a part of now the press, I am responsible behind what I say, and I can stand on what I say, because we don't want these situations to be to where these things get fabricated and people are looking at it, and then the influential part of things being false can create a whole nother monster. You know what I'm saying? So for me to stand on this platform and on this podcast, to have your back when people are saying negative things, and people, no. You're going to come up here, you're going to address everybody, you're going to stand in front of the congregation, and you're going to repeat what you said. Because if it's big enough to repeat, you can say it again in front of the crowd. And if that's what you believe in, we'll get down to the bottom of it. But that's what I pride myself on. And just to let you know, I got your back 110%, bro. And also too, man, have you, I see, you going through your daily days, you know what I'm saying? Has this been since this court situation? Walk me through your daily role, you know what I'm saying, that's been going on with the children too.
Like we talked about on our last podcast, I was awarded child support from my oldest daughter's mother. My youngest daughter, I had the final hearing today with her mother, and then my son's, I have court with his mother on September 1st, and then the final hearing for my oldest daughter's mother is around September 15th, I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm.
So everything is, pretty much done, well, pieced together. I just have to go for time sharing for my son, and I have enough evidence and enough documentation to, back up any claim, any accusation against me. I'm pretty much, well equipped. For my oldest daughter, her mother, we just pretty much putting however much the law requires her to pay in child support in place.
Okay.
Right now we have a temporary order.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? It's always the details. The details is what make the process important as far as you going through it. Has there been any interruptions, anything that have been to where there's been a little bit of an annoyance to you when it comes to you staying on point and following the court proceedings?
Man, the whole process from the start to now being annoying, it's been aggravating, it's been lengthy. I've been ready for it to be over with. Some people just naturally vindictive. So, instead of taking the easy route, they take the hardest route possible.
And this is not a knock on anybody, and I really want to have this conversation with you. I think a lot of times when it comes to this parenting thing, everybody feels like they have the best interests. However, I think when there's a separation between the two parents, I think what we have in 2026 is you don't want to be made to look bad. But my thing is, there's a mother, there's a father. Y'all share equal responsibilities, or supposed to share equal responsibilities, right? However, a lot of times I feel, and I'm not playing devil's advocate in any situation, but I understand it in its totality. A lot of times when the mother is being how can I say, when the mother's being challenged on her motherhood and her expertise of motherhood, when that father steps in and feels that he can do better, there is a personal it's taken personal to the point to where, who are you to challenge me and my expertise if I've had the child? Well, necessarily, if you're smart and you're intelligent and on both sides, you're going to work together. Sometimes a father can be in that child's life that may suit that child for the next 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. That does not make you less of a parent because you're the mother. You're supposed to be the nurturing part, and also the nurturing part in making sound decisions. It's not supposed to be no resistance like that. But I wanted to ask you, has there been any resistance, any slick talk, anything being mumbled, anything to try to aggravate you in that process?
Man, it's been so much going on. I mean, today, and I ain't gonna say no names, but, just an individual, just had some stuff to say about me today that, during a hearing that, is just, why are we talking about this?
Bringing up your past that didn't have anything to do with your parenting skills. I think the attack and the assassination of a man's character is the number one forefront thing to where we're at a divide. And I want to say this to the audience too. A lot of times when you have misinformation and people that are in your ear about the right or wrong things, 9 times out of 10, people want to have an issue with you. And to say this, a lot of people like chaos and disorder. A lot of times they're being fed chaos and disorder from the wrong people that shouldn't even be in their corner in the first place. And I think a lot of times they feed their negative to that person so that negative can be fed up onto you. Like you said, a lot of things that being brought up and a lot of things to assassinate your character, it has nothing to do with parenting. You can't live off past mistakes or whatever that I may have done from the past. It doesn't constitute for right now. And if I'm responsible right now and I'm consistent right now, that's supposed to be the thing that's looked at. And that a lot of times doesn't get looked at as far as on a parental and responsible part. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's what made me take an interest so much into with you, because you didn't fit the typical of, well, this, that, and the third. No, man, you went head over heels for your children, and I have to give that love and that respect. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to say this. Since then, how are you and your children connecting?
Man, it's always been beautiful, man. Like, my children love me. I love them. I'm willing to do anything for them. I'm willing to kill for them. I'm willing to die for them. I'm willing to put my life on the line for them. Man, it's my children just daddy me to death. Sometimes I be like, man, just say my name. I love it. And I did want to elaborate on something you said. I think we skipped past it, bro. I'm sorry. One thing about the internet, people gonna talk. I know what comes with posting. I don't expect everybody to be on my side. So I typically don't pay attention to the comments. I don't pay attention to the shares because I know it's negativity there. I know what I'm doing is the right thing to do. And I know it's going to inspire more people than, than people that's going to have negative things to say. But I feel that the negative things people say is just as more powerful than the positive, things that people say, because it lets you know that you know, on both ends of the spectrum, you being watched, and the people really don't hate you. They you know, most people that have something negative to say is either jealous of you or they trying to figure out how you done went viral, how, you know, things working out of your nature, but they too scared and afraid to ask you. So instead of learning from somebody that they should be learning from, they criticize them. And, you know, as I grew closer to God and you know, got older in age and started understanding, it's like I have to spread love even through the hate, you know, because it can't be two fools. You know, they hated on Dr. King, they hated on God, they hated on the most powerful people, you know, that, you know, stood up against wrongdoing. So I'm really nobody. So it doesn't affect me that much that, you know, people hate on me. It's like most of the time when I post and I, you know, don't see no kind of hate, I feel like I didn't do my job. I feel like I want to delete the post and post something else that I know will make people, you know, start talking negativity.
Right.
So I wanted to touch on that, bro, but we can skate past that.
Nah, man, it's good that you address that, you know what I'm saying, because that's important. Now, I want to say this too, because the things that have went viral, you showed the world, you know what I'm saying? You didn't hide it, you know what I'm saying? It was right there in real time. How has the communication been between the mother? You know what I'm saying? How has it been between the mothers? Has it been okay? Has it been up and down? Has it been, you know what I'm saying, kind of consistent, kind of cool for right now until the verdict? Or now is it just, you know what I'm saying, now it feels like they may feel that it may not rule in their favor, so they just on a, you know what I'm saying, on a suicide mission. Walk us through that.
Man, it's been what it is. It's been the same. The same thing that was going on before I opened these cases. It's the same thing going on now. The only difference is I got rights. I have say-so. I get to have an opinion. And I get to bring things to the forefront, you know, that will punish the mothers if they go against what, you know, the judge put in place. So, you know, I typically don't try to communicate with my children's mother as much unless it's about the child. And once I see, you know, a conversation is going towards a dead end, I typically eliminate myself from that conversation.
Absolutely. Now, I seen you had your paperwork, you know what I'm saying? You know, WAC 100 always talking about he got the paperwork, but I actually got to see, you know what I'm saying, you had the paperwork. And a claim without proof is just an opinion, you know what I'm saying? In family court, paperwork is your shield. After helping, you know what I'm saying, you know, being a parent and what have you, the next step is the actions part, you know what I'm saying? And that's the hard evidence. And I want to say this, too many fathers, you know what I'm saying, wait until the week of court to start gathering proof, you know what I'm saying? But by then, it's a lot of times late. So walk us through, what proof do you have to back up everything? And this is important for young fathers and young mothers to understand, and the importance of just understanding custody and how it works, period. Walk us through that.
So, man, I had to learn, you know, I say this whole, you know, I've been this, two of my 3 cases have been going on for a little over a year. My third case I opened up right after Christmas. So I've been learning from the time I opened this case all the way till, you know, to even up to today. You know, I learned some stuff today, but one thing that was most vital was when I first went to court, I was saying so much without proof. And, you know, I was told a saying that's in court, especially family court, is not what you say, is what you can prove. So every little thing that goes on or anything that I can use as a reference to help my case, I document everything. So I think I went through a stack of print papers. You know, I'm going up there every other day turning things in, and then I print off an extra copy to keep for myself. So as I'm sitting in this courtroom, I'm able to, you know, show the judge photos, text messages. I'm able to explain everything that I put on file. Because once you put something on file, the judge see it probably a few days later. So most of the time when you go in court, the judges typically already know, you know, what you're going to touch on. And when you do speak on it, I remember you put that on file. So any parent out there that's going through family law, or a parent that's, you know, potentially looking to open up a case, is not what you say, is what you can prove why you're saying it. So me, I like to print out photos. When I print out photos, I pull the photos out. I explain what each photo is. I pull out text messages. Explain the text messages. Explain, what I sent back. And one thing you never want to do is alter anything. However the messages came, even if it make you look bad, still, put it on file. Because courts know when you alter something.
Oh, you better believe it. Oh, they go over things with like a fine-tooth comb, you know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to text messages, because guess what? You want to sway them, not just because people want to do that in the court, the court of public opinion. But you got people that want to do that real life and think that the judge ain't paying attention to any of that. Nah, they really paying attention because they can pull your phone records for real, for real. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead.
But the most crucial part, of the whole case is having your documentation, having your evidence, and also having a series of cross-examination questions. Because what you will learn in court is people come to court and they'll lie, but the questions that you may have already written out will contradict their statement. Judge listen very thoroughly.
So you just put something on my mind, man, for real. Now, I want to say this. Now, I heard you say about the text, different emails. But then, too, you're a cooperative parent, as I can see. What about those, teachers, different doctors and coaches and different things like that? Because remember the last time we had talked, there was that situation with the daycare center, and to see what was going on and see if they was in cahoots and what have you, just on that situation in itself. How did that situation play out? Has that come into court recently?
Actually, no. For the first court hearing for the mother for that particular case is September 1st. But I've already got all my documentation. I've already got all my witness letter written out. So all I'm doing now is just waiting on September 1st to come through, and then I'm going to burn whoever I need to burn inside the courtroom.
And and like I say, I know you got your visual proof. I know you got your financial records and things like that. There was one thing that stood out with me with the last interview when you talked about this, and you said that child support is for the child, strictly for the child. And you broke down in specific detail of how you do not spend not a dime or, a dollar, much less, on yourself or anything like that for your own personal gain and what have you. And I think that right there in itself, that went viral. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't hear a person saying that, specifically putting the needs of the child first. You know what I'm saying? And walk us through that. What made you come to grips with that? You know what I'm saying? Especially because I know you got friends, they got children, different things. Money gets shifted everywhere. But nonetheless, what made you pride yourself on that?
Honestly, it was a series of reasons. It was a series of reasons. First reason, man, I already put myself in the mind of going on child support already. Like, okay, if I go on child support, I feel like this money need to be spent strictly on the child. So if I'm expecting a mother to do that as a man, it'll be hypocritical for me, not to do the same thing. So, I was just like, man, I was able to experience, what I've seen mothers, whine about not getting their child support payment from their child's father or children's father, simply because they want to go get their hair done or their nails to go out for the weekend. So I was like, man, this what dudes paying their money for? I thought the money was supposed to go towards the child. So it made it to where I was just like, man, like, it's not a man's job to take care of the woman. That money's supposed to go to the child.
Absolutely. And seeing that, a lot of times a lot of people say this, well, they're doing the best they can, and you got to sometimes move the money around and different things like that. What do you say to those people? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a firm believer in the money going to the child as well. You know what I mean? My needs don't matter. Long as those child's needs are being met, that's the only thing that matters to me as a man. But what do you say to those naysayers that say, well, you don't understand, every situation is different and this, that, and the third? What do you have to say to those people?
What about when the father goes through it? What about when a man goes through it? You know, men try their best too. Men hit hard times. The laws are not set up for men. So naturally, by law, women have more access to resources than men. Because man, we're just expected to just provide. This is expected of us. And when we can't do it, you know, we belittle. Especially when you don't really got no money like that. So, like I say, I stand firm in, you know, when a man pays child support to a woman for the child, it's strictly for the child. You know, why else would a man pay child support? He's not paying it to give it to the mother for her to spend it on things other than the child. It's called child support, not baby mama or mother support.
You hit the nail on the head when you said that. I also want to say this too. Going through that process and you keeping your financial records, and I know you also have people, you know what I'm saying, that are next to you. Who are the people that see you in your parenting, you know what I'm saying, that could actually identify, especially with the judge, to say, no, he's hitting everything on the nail on the head. He's hitting everything. He's moving and grooving like he's supposed to. Walk me through that.
Repeat that one more time.
Who witnessing you're in your parenting mode, you know what I'm saying? Especially in support. Like they know, like, okay, he's hitting everything. I can stand up, vouch for him, different things like that. Because a lot of fellas don't have nobody to stand up in court for them. It's just strictly 9 times out of 10 them and just their word. But who do you have in your corner? You know what I'm saying? That's watching you and witnessing you parenting.
Man, like I said, it's the close people around me. Friends, my manager. I go to them a lot for advice and questions on how I should, you know, handle things, present things, how I should speak. So a lot of the questions that I ask, if they don't have a direct answer, they'll help me find an answer, whether it's through research and everything. Like yesterday, my daughter's mother sent her attorney sent a proposal to me about time sharing. And I didn't necessarily agree with it. So I sent it to my manager and said, hey, can you read over this and let me know if this is BS or if I should, you know, go for it, you know, with giving them the okay. And she read it. And she said they, you know, pretty much is trying to, you know, lowball you. So she did some research for me because I was at work at the time. She did some research for me. She pretty much pulled up what the state of Florida laws requires. And she revised the original copy and sent it to me, and I printed it off and took it to court with me.
And see, that's a beautiful thing, having people, because I know you're only one person and you having other people to, you know, work with you, you know what I'm saying, within time frames and different things like that. And you meeting court dates, man. That's a beautiful, and that's a blessing to have, you know what I'm saying, especially in 2026.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's the only way something gonna work, bro, is if you put in work and you learn how to deal with the pressure that comes with whatever you're trying to accomplish. You know, man, I have you know, a few people that work behind the scenes. If I'm actually, you know, real busy doing something, you know, I send them and say, hey, I need some answers for this. Or, hey, can you go do this? Can you run, you know, put this in the mail and mail it off or whatever. So, you know, I have actually one individual that does mostly everything I need them to do for me, which is my manager. And pretty much, man, she do a lot. So how I got it now is like most of the money that I make on social media. You know, once it comes, you know, she gets a percentage of that.
And that's another thing. You know what I'm saying? Everything. I tell people this: there's a cost for everything. There's a cost to doing business. You know what I'm saying? And you putting yourself on the forefront to make sure that everything is taken care of. That's a beautiful thing, bro. And you handling it, like I say, that you don't understand this, but that inspires me because I go hard just like you, bro. you know what I'm saying, to make sure that everything is taken care of on time. You know what I'm saying? Because like you say, not only do you have to do all of this and you managing your things and managing your co-parenting, you got to be on time in court. You got to make sure that everything is lined up. So a lot of time, your time is always accounted for something of value, especially because you're trying to not only just be not just a parent, you're also trying to be inspiration to your children. You're trying to be the thing that they need to look up to be able to understand what life is about. And it requires 24 hours of your time.
So, man, I mean, I knew it came with having children, and that's why I'm so accepting to the good and the bad that comes with it, because it was a time I didn't have children, and nobody forced me to go have children. So, you know, the children is the beautiful part of this. The issues that come with it is not the beautiful part, but I value the beautiful part over the part that's not beautiful. So, you know, I value the children, the human beings, you know, over the money and over the headache and the disagreements.
Man, that's a huge thing to look at. And you know what I'm saying? Like I say, you keeping everything, all the paperwork, everything intact. Now, I gotta ask you this. This is a tough question. And I tell people to, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to elaborate, by all means, man, I'm all for it. If you can't, you know what I'm saying, until the court date is over, let me know. My question is, you know what I'm saying, is there anything that the other side, besides what we talked about, they may use against you?
What do you mean when you say use against?
Like, I remember you saying like they were trying to bring up old pictures from the early 2000s. You know what I'm saying? Have you been in court and they tried to present new evidence against you about like you were a bad person or you were doing something bad recently or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, new evidence, it's gonna, regardless of who case it is, it's gonna always be presented because you got two people fighting, trying to, get custody. I know today most of what was presented was text messages through the Talk to Parents app, but we all know that the judge can go in and see those messages. So I'm real cautious on how I write, and I make sure that when I do write, that it's respectful enough for a judge to read it and be like, all right, I understand you mad, but calm down a little bit, but they, it was some loops that was trying to be found within that, but like I said, man, I think smart. So anything I do, regardless, of whether it's through court or just in life, if I'm going to act out, I'm going to make sure that it's enough for me to be able to go home at night, me not to go to jail. If someone else read it, they may be like, hey, listen, just calm down a little bit. But, I pretty much like, it wasn't really nothing like that would interfere with me getting equal time sharing with my child. It was more just, like the judge said, it's just two parents just disagreeing, and she, redirected, me and the mother and saying, hey, that's normal. She see it all the time. So, it was a smooth court hearing.
That was cool. And see, that's what I be looking forward to, because in those proceedings, man, and I've been in those courts, I be looking forward to be this, where there's a moment of clarity to where you can have a clear conversation respectfully. You know what I'm saying? In the perfect world, that would be all fine and dandy. But just getting a person to understand your side. Because I think a lot of times when it's parenting thing, the person wants to be heard respectfully. Listen, I will listen. I don't have no problem with that. But also, let's both make it make sense together. You know what I'm saying? Let's not just be saying something to just be saying something, to just be clashing with each other for the sake of clashing with each other. No, let's sit down and really get into it, lock in, and then also be able to build with one another. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't take that much to agree. It doesn't take that much to be able to come together like you're supposed to. Because like I say, the child is the person that we're in common with. So guess what? If you can put your foot forward, I can put my foot forward. We can both live in a peace and harmony, and we don't have to be at each other's throats.
Right. You couldn't say it better, bro.
Now, I want to say this. In a specific court order, you know what I'm saying, the custody factor matters most, you know what I'm saying? So, what...
I
since that thing that happened today, walk us through what happened today as far as the court proceedings. What kind of evidence is most persuasive to the judge that's going to, definitely push to your favor?
So I showed up. I had some files. I had actually some pictures. So I remember on the first time in the podcast, I said the mother tried to present evidence with, me holding firearms, but they was old. They was years old, and it was me in the photos of firearms, but I wasn't hurting nobody. Nobody was at risk. No child was around me. So today when I went to court, I had photos of, excuse me, my children playing. I had photos that we took in our cap and gowns, and I gave it to the judge, just, showing how, typically like what I do when I'm with my kids, the pictures we take, the vibe, I was painting a picture like this is what goes on behind all of these, accusations and speculations. And the judge, seen the photos with me and the kids in our cap and gowns, and it sparked something, emotional within her, and it was more of the vibe of, I know we're in court, but I have to speak to you, as an older woman, as a mother, grandmother, auntie, not to me, but just how you step, you put your title down and you step in as a human being. And she told me that she commended me, that, she was, proud of me, that she liked, that I'm fighting for my children. And she asked me, how's my upbringing? She asked me, what was my major? When did I graduate college? So it was a lot of personal questions that, judges typically ask them, but I could tell that the judge was really sparked by the photos of me and the children in our cap and gowns.
And that and when I seen that picture, man, I ain't gonna lie, man, it sparked something in me, bro, because I was like, dang, those are the moments that we're supposed to have with our children together. Those are the moments of what we're supposed to have for us to be able to say, look, this right here is a moment in time that's legacy driven, legacy built. You don't get those that often in black culture. And I think that picture right there, like I say, man, it just didn't touch the judge. It touched me because I was like, that's the one I want to use, And congratulations, on graduating,
Appreciate that, brother. Do you really want to know the truth about those pictures, bro?
Man, tell me, man, come on. Let the folks know, man. I'm listening.
So my oldest daughter was raised up on FAMU campus. It took me years to graduate because I was getting in trouble. I started getting in trouble once I was kicked off the track team at FAMU for expressing interest in transferring. So when it got time for me to graduate, my oldest daughter was raised on campus. So when it got time for me to graduate, she was the only one there because I wasn't in communication with my youngest daughter or her mother, due to a disagreement that the mother and I had. The child was withheld. So I went, my main goal was to have my children at my graduation. So at the time I had my two daughters because my son's mother was pregnant with him at the time. So I'm going through these court cases. Then my son born. So when I finally get time sharing with my son, I said, man, I still got breath in my body. I got a healthy baby. My kid's healthy. So I said, I remember talking to my manager and I said, hey, can you go online and see how much it'll be? They like cap and gowns in my children's size. And she went and found them. I paid for them. We ordered them. And I remember one Sunday night, we went on campus and we took those pictures. We took those pictures with my cell phone. And that moment that I had out there, well, my youngest daughter didn't want to cooperate. And then my son ended up getting aggravated out there. So, but that moment showed me like, hey, it might not have, excuse me, bro, hold on 1 second. I'm just getting over a cold, bro, I'm sorry.
Nah, you good, man, you good.
That moment that we took in the pictures, it showed me that even though it didn't happen when I wanted it and anticipated it, I still had an opportunity to have all of my children together. And instead of them being there in just regular nice clothes, I took pictures of how I wanted to do it that particular day. So I didn't do it when I wanted to do it, but I got to do it my way once I got time sharing. And it paid off in the end because I was able to present those same pictures, and it helped my court case. It helped, just spark something within the judges, in emotion to have more compassion towards, a young black father that's trying.
And we don't, and here's the thing, you're not just trying, you're actually doing. See, a lot of times we hear this and it's easier said than done, but you're doing it. So there's a little stigma when it comes to that statement, but when you're in the process and you're actually, it's right here in front of your face, you can't do nothing but respect that. And this is for young black men to understand this too. When you're doing, not in the process, you're actually doing, that means you're right there in the midst of what's going on like it's supposed to be going on. And don't never let nobody deny you that fact. Because we have a lot of cards and the deck is stacked against us. But nonetheless, if we're trying to figure things out, man, applaud, grab your brother, let him know, encourage him, keep him uplifted, keep him in a positive, because those are the things that are essential for a man to push forward and to keep going, man, for real. Now, in the upcoming, we talked about that. Now, to the men, I want you to answer this because I want them to be equipped with having the right mindset.
All right.
Tell these young men and young women as well for them to understand what should you say and not say and do and not do in court.
Always state facts. Make sure your personal opinion is revolved around facts. Never ever take personal shots in court. You always wait your turn to speak. Your demeanor should be professional. So, you don't make faces, you don't smack your lips. Everything, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir. Never look over at the respondent or the petitioner while they're speaking. You kind of always look forward. I tend to like to make eye contact with the judge. But if I'm being cross-examined and I'm being asked questions, I tend to look over at the person that's asking me the questions so that I can make eye contact with them. And then after that's over with, I put my focus, right back on the judge. Never, and the reason why I say never make faces because you don't want to make it like you're trying to intimidate the other person from saying anything, because how the court is a non-biased atmosphere, meaning the judge isn't on nobody's side. The judge is strictly on the facts at hand. Mm-hmm. That's how the judges typically make their decision. So you have to go in court already confident. You have to be confident in what you present. You have to be confident in what you're planning to say, and you have to let that carry you through your court case. Me, I have anxiety real bad. So normally when I get in court, I start shaking. It's like I'm cold. So I tend to redirect myself by saying, you're in a good position. You did everything you could do, gathering your evidence and your questions. So trust God and trust your evidence.
And it's funny you say that because a lot of times when we go in these court systems, there's a lot of like, man, they not going to even hear what I say. It's over. Yeah. And that body language and that demeanor, it just shows the court, like, it's like, what's wrong with it? Like, nah, because you don't understand the significance behind what comes with that, And I want to say this, too. You said about the professionalism, even in the court.
Yeah.
Talk about that outside the court. How do you support? And this is most people be like, well, what do you mean? Because I know some people get emotional when they watch these type of episodes. But how do you support the children's relationship with the other parent? You know what I'm saying? Like, just not in the courtroom where you're professional. How's your professionalism outside? You know what I'm saying? How do you support that children's relationship with the other parent?
I typically don't speak badly or negatively about the parent around the child.
Mm-hmm.
I always try to encourage and speak positive and let the child know that, regardless of what's going on, you love by both parents. Both parents, would die for you. And both parents, would do anything for you. As far as me having an issue and having to speak, if I'm on the phone, I step outside, or, if it's a situation where I can wait, I typically just wait to have my conversations when a child is not around. Children have questions, so even through all the negative, I still try to keep a positive atmosphere. Regardless of how I may feel on the inside, I typically don't try to, I let a child be a child, and as a child, you got to respect both of your parents, regardless if they're there or not.
And that sometimes can tend to be hard. You know what I mean? Especially when you're going through these type of battles that are emotional. You're like, I don't owe them nothing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to overextend my hand. But sometimes you can catch flies with honey than you can with vinegar. And a lot of times just that cordialness and that, hey, how you doing? Everything okay? Cool. Boom. You know what I'm saying? It saves a lot, because a lot of times people can be looking for that opening. Oh, he ain't speaking. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Just because they may figure you're in a bad mood and try to get something popped off. But I applaud you on that. You know what I'm saying? Keeping professionalism like that.
Yeah, man. I mean, at first it wasn't like that. I had to be molded into this. I had to be molded into this by people that work in the courthouse that, took fond of me for trying as a, father. So I was, shaped into this, and I was, pretty much coached on how to, conduct myself in court, questions to ask, what to stay away from. And when I say coach, I mean, like, it was times when the case first started, I was, I was interrupting the judge just to get my point in, and they was like, hey, no, don't interrupt, wait your turn to speak. So I carried all of those pointers with me. I carried them nuggets with me, and I started using them, and it just, it helped me out. It helped the atmosphere of the courtroom out as well.
Now, I want to bring this up, man. I know you were talking. And for those people, so we can set the record straight, let them know what you do outside of the court. You know what I'm saying? Not just in the court battle, but who you are as a person. Tell these folks exactly what you have going on behind the scenes, especially with the football. You know what I'm saying? Let the folks know what you got going on, man.
So, football has always been my first sport. However, track and field is what took me to college. But started back playing football. I played in 2024. For the Georgia Cobras.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Ivy. He gave me a chance to play on his team. Earlier this year, I started playing semi-pro again. I actually played with the team out from Alabama. Mm-hmm. But, I injured my foot, and then the team got shut down around the third or fourth game. And I remember reaching out to this team. I was going online like, man, I got to find a team to play for. And I reached out to this one organization, and the owner and his wife, they had no hesitation, bringing me to their family, to their organization. And, man, it was the best decision. I'm actually, like, real close with them. They like brothers and sisters to me now. So I just became co-owner of the team about a month and a half, 2 months ago. I play running back, but I just want to say the team is based in Birmingham, called the Alabama Bandits.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to the Alabama Bandits. Shout out to Chris. Shout out to Sergeant. Shout out to all the owners. Shout out to just the organization as a whole, man. It's one of the best teams I played on. They hold me they hold me accountable when I'm wrong. They organize, and they just gave me an opportunity, to, showcase my talent and to know what ownership is like. They it's showing me how it is to run a team. And I can say it's not easy, but it gives me something productive to do. It gives me something positive to do. I love to travel, so it gives me a chance to, get on the road, get to see nature, and, just, play the game that I love with people that I'm, growing in relationship with.
Absolutely. And then them babies can say, oh, I see my daddy. My daddy was on, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. And we still accepting players. I'm posting a flyer on my social media. Mm-hmm. So you got to come ready to play. You got to come serious.
By all means, you already know I'm gonna repost it. You know what I'm saying? For those that are in the Houston area, Texas area, Dallas, San Antonio, Fort Worth, man, it don't matter. Austin, hey man, if you got the skills to pay the bills, man, come out. Look, I'm gonna post it. Y'all tap in, man, get on that. You feel me? So.
And let me say something about the owners, man. I'm gonna pick at this for a minute. Mm-hmm. Me and Chris played kick return. Mind you, I came on the hurt foot. So Chris kind of had me beat a little bit on the yardage. So it's now we in this battle of who's going to have the most yards come the fall. But I think I'm going to win that. Because I did physical therapy and my ankle is 100% now.
Oh.
To anybody that want to come to the team, to anybody that's already on the team, she don't play the radio. Once you cross that threshold and you burn a bridge, that bridge is burnt. It's burnt with Chris and it's burnt with Taju. Mm-hmm. But they like the best. They like the best owners I ever played for, man. I done played with some good owners, man. But I like the fact that they raw, they uncut. They're not selfish people. We have about 8 owners. We have about 8 owners on the team now. So, they're not me, see me type of individuals. They're more family oriented. So, whatever's going on, we're going to talk about this together. We're going to spend our money together. And whatever's going on, we're going to get through it together. So, again, shout out to Alabama Bandits. Football, semi-pro football.
I look forward to seeing you, man. You definitely, man. Hey, you got to give me one of them jerseys. I got to have a jersey, man. You know what I'm saying? I got to have a jersey. Definitely when you start playing. And like I say, with any game that you post, I'm going to definitely repost it. And then that way people can tune in to understand what you have going on. And I wanted to also say this too. For those that, that have these type of questions, this platform is specifically for you to get those answers. This platform stands on concrete evidence and different things that are factual, straight. We don't deal with the what if scenarios or the whatever. No, that doesn't count in real life. We deal with the real over here. And I also wanted to ask Lil Koosie, man, listen, I know Florida's big, you know what I'm saying? But who are you listening to as far as music right now?
Man, I listen to... I'm a broad person, man. It depends on what mood I'm in. Mm-hmm. I listen to Kodak. I listen to Youngboy. I listen to a lot of these rappers, man. I listen to, No Cap. On the R&B side, man, I listen to Usher, Chris Brown, Jodeci. I actually like R&B, but I like songs that I can relate to.
And see, and I think they say music soothes the savage beast. I do believe that, especially when, sometimes that music can put you in a mood, you know what I'm saying? And I think that, you being able to, hey, when I'm on the field or whatever, I'm on that. But then when I'm actually, trying to focus and link up or, to change the mood, especially when it comes to my children or the people that I deal with on a constant basis, I listen to this. And, like I say, those are the artists that I listen to out here in Houston too, you know what I mean? And like I say, Florida is so big, they have so many artists. And one of my specific artists. I love, you know what I'm saying, Gunplay. I love Rick Ross. You know what I'm saying? I love what they've done for the game. Trina, all the ones that have, you know, paved the way for a lot of artists now. XXX Tentacion, he's another one of my favorites too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Long live. Rest in peace, X.
Get ready for court, bro. So, you know, I listen to gospel too. You know, I like a couple of gospel artists.
See, you know what I'm saying? You got to keep your spirituality on high. You know, that's one of the most key ingredients in order to stay in level as a man. There's balance. You know what I'm saying? And one thing that I admire about you, Koosie, man, is your balance. Being able to maintain all of these things. And just to hear you say that, I resonate with you on that level too, of being able to carry your kid, making sure that you're making the grades, making sure that you're handling your business, making sure that they fed, making sure that you handling your personal endeavors. That takes a lot. You know what I'm saying? And for you to have to keep your emotions intact, man, for a young black man in America to do that, man, I salute you, man.
Especially from a black man.
Man, come on, man. Come on now. Now, also, man, I want you to talk about your partner, man. I know he wasn't on tonight, but I definitely want to elaborate on him, too, a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because I know he's been there through the process with you. And to just, you know what I'm saying, elaborate on how he's been an impact in your world as far as, you know, going through this custody battle and whatnot.
Which one you saying?
What's his name? Bean? You know what I'm saying? Definitely out of Chicago.
Oh, Rico.
Yeah, he's definitely out of Chicago. You know what I'm saying? I know he's been through with you in the process of everything. So how has the process been with him too as well?
Man, since he been home, man, and since he, you know, been around me, man, my kids instantly love him. He, you know, sit with my kids, he nurture my kids. Man, he a big gentle giant, bro. He played with my kids like they've been knowing him all his life, but they haven't. So, man, he you know, I confide in him too about, you know, what my thoughts said and what I've done, and, you know, is I don't think we ever had a disagreement or we had a conversation where we didn't have understanding. So he helped me more than, you know, he know. But I have to make sure that I stay in a level head and make the right decisions to be able to help him.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I cannot wait.
Y'all be looking out for that podcast from Rico.
It's definitely here. It's going to be here. And I want to send a special shout out to him because, like I say, he's been through a process. He's been through those roller coasters and different things like that. And we're going to definitely be talking about prison reform and about the fairness that the system has in store for a black man. The disadvantages more than the advantages. You know, everybody, like I say, it's easier said than done. Everybody can formulate their own opinion, but actually going through the process and doing it is completely different on a whole nother scale, man. Real Koosie, man. Listen, we waiting on the verdict. We waiting on that verdict. We definitely want to tap in. And then also, like I say, tell them about what's going to be coming up in the upcoming week.
Yeah, so I did go to court today for 50-50. Mm-hmm. Because me and the mother both made good arguments, good points. The judge told us to just, you know, give her some time to come up with something with a proposed parental plan. So I'm waiting on the verdict. So are going to have a part 3 on Let's Yap About It. So y'all stay tuned for that. September 1st is my next court date for my son, and that's the most crucial court case. That's my favorite court case right there. So I'm ready for that one. So it's gonna be a part 4. So it's gonna be a part 4 on Let's Yap About It. So overall, man, I'm knocking these last 2 court cases out and moving on with my life.
And also, let the folks know where they can find you and understand your story, man. I got it up on the screen, but also let them hear it for those that may not be able to see.
I could be found on Facebook at Kevon Manning. That's KE apostrophe V as in violin OUGHN And my last name is MANNING. My TikTok as well as my Instagram is _KOOSIEE.
Come on, man. Listen to me, man. Listen. This ain't nothing but the beginning. You the voice. You the voice. I'm the platform, and we're gonna get this information out to as many people as we can, because like I say, on this show, we're not biased. You know what I'm saying? We don't chop people down. We like to hear both sides of the perspectives. You know what I'm saying? Male, female, and we formulate whatever. We only deal with facts. We only deal with facts over here. So for that to be the forefront and you leading the charge with facts, you going through the process, man, you are helping a lot of brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? Because your poise, your calmness, your balance, and showing all of this through this process, even dealing with your emotions and setting those aside, man, it is a true blessing, and you are an inspiration, brother.
I like the way that, you formulate your questions and your statements, and you actually give me something to think about before I even speak. So, believe it or not, my brother, you teach me things. I'm learning as I'm listening, so I know everybody else learning. So I just want to, shout out your platform, bro, and let you know that, this platform, time and with consistency, you probably going to wipe academics off the map.
Oh man, I'm humble, man. Listen to me, man. My goal is to stay humble as much as I can, and shout out to the people that I've learned from behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? Jason Black. You know what I'm saying? I'm an humble servant unto the people. Without y'all, this would not even be possible. You know what I'm saying? Just me taking a shot at just even asking you to interview you, you know what I'm saying, was just a humbling experience. And I think that's where we have to get back to as far as media and being different from everybody else, being humble, being respectable, and most of all, being balanced and not being biased. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to you, bro, for that. And I appreciate you, bro. Much love.
I appreciate you too, man.
And any special shout out you want to give out to tonight, man? Listen, man, the platform is yours. Give it out to him.
Man, I want to shout out, for one, I want to shout out God, because without him, none of this is possible, and I should have shouted him out at the beginning. So everybody forgive me for that. I want to shout out Fuji. That's my manager.
You know what I'm saying?
I want to shout out my children. I want to shout out everybody from my family, the family staff that have helped me shape, mold me, have instilled in me. I want to shout out from my teachers, my instructors, my advisors, just staff, period. I want to shout out, a few of my high school teachers that, have me on social media that talk to me. It's a long list of names from all these people that I'm shouting out. But if you played a part in my success, you played a part in me being able, to be on this podcast, I want to shout you out. And I want to shout out anybody, everybody that supported me, everybody that have, instilled something in me, whether it's an encouraging word or you physically or mentally done something for me. But it's a long list of names, so I can't go through all the names. But, if you ever played a part in my success or played a part in, me changing from one way to another, I love you and shout out to you.
Man, listen, cousin, man, it has been a pleasure, man. Listen to me, man. I appreciate you for giving us the update. Like I say, this is definitely gonna be up where everybody can be able to watch it. Listen, if you got any questions, you know what I'm saying, whatever that you want to put on this, listen, we have it. Listen, question, comments, hate, or debate, list all of them in the chat. We will pick certain questions that you want to ask and different things like that. Brothers, sisters, listen, it doesn't matter. We ain't biased over here. We definitely want to bring a certain level of truth back to media, which is not out here. People just out here posting, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, I'm with the Associated Press, so I have to be accounted for of what I write and what I say, and I stand on that, and I'm a firm believer on what I stand and I say. Are your other bloggers doing that? Are your other podcaster doing that? Or are they just doing that for clicks and views? Nah, but I really do care about you people, because without you people, this would not be possible. So shout out to y'all for real, for real.
Shout out to y'all.
Man, it's been a pleasure, Koosie. Definitely part 3 coming soon. Listen, whenever you drop the verdict, we definitely gonna drop the podcast. And you know what I'm saying? We gonna definitely make it fast. You know what I mean?
Yup, hey, I'm ready for it. And like I said, you're gonna be the first to know when I get it. And I do want to shout out Rico. Listen, y'all, I'm so excited about his podcast that's coming. Y'all stay tuned to Let's Yap About It, because I'm sure he got a story to tell that's gonna touch somebody.
Man, appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, brother, on the tap in, man. Listen. I'm going to end this show, man, and I'm going to definitely hit you on the back end when it's over.
Absolutely, my brother. Tap in with me.
Bet, I got you.
All right.
All right. Lil Koosie on the check-in, man. Listen, it has been a pleasure to be able to join y'all and to understand some things that I never understood about the court proceedings, because I've been in there too. Every situation is different nonetheless, but I enjoyed this conversation because this is supposed to be enlightened to help everybody across the board. And I want you to specifically pay attention to something. Lil Koosie didn't diss nobody. Lil Koosie didn't get on here bitter. Lil Koosie didn't get on here and say negative things. Lil Koosie didn't air out all the dirty laundry. Because why? He kept and maintained his professionalism, not because there's a court case pending, because that's exactly who he is. You got a lot of people out here that act, but he's not an actor. That's why I reached out to him specifically. And if we actually put ourselves on the forefront to understand truth over emotion, facts over fiction, and things that are juicy and gossipy, man, that would change the whole mindset and narrative. And that would probably change the podcast game. But guess what? If it takes me to do it, so be it. You know what I'm saying? Because I pride myself at being honest and true, especially when it comes to the media, man. For real. I would like to thank all of you for joining tonight's broadcast. And if I came up in your feed and you stopped to take a peek in, then come in and join the conversation and comment down below. Don't be afraid to hit that like and subscribe and share button. But most of all, listen, we've come to an end. So tell a friend and let the conversation begin. So until the next time, we definitely gonna have a lot to yap about. Listen, Rico's podcast is coming sooner than you think. I also want to say this: Can't Stop the Crook interview is coming sooner than you think. We definitely moving the needle like we're supposed to forward. We're leading the charge. But before we go, I want to introduce you to a fire song that you can put in your rotation. Man, listen, the song is called Saturn. Listen, Future took you to Pluto. Guess what? Asteroid gonna take you to Saturn. This is Houston's homegrown talent. And then the second song is by none other than Dallas, all the way from Dallas, from Oak Cliff to Houston, Lou Alcindor. And listen to me. The song is called Still Us Part 3. Put those two songs in your rotation. I promise you, you won't be dissatisfied. Y'all tap in. You already know who it is. It's Rob the Prop.
Sorry. You're not blonde enough.
If I could take you to Saturn, I'd introduce you to patterns that they couldn't find. I only need for the sour. Cause I wanna party with you in the San Valentine. Please carry on. I feel like everybody's rolling off of something, hoping at dysfunction. Bodies glisten all over the floor. DJ, wait, she at that replay. Make someone fall easy. Body fly if it's a free thing. After this line, I'm hoping you can reach me. Cause coffee beans in the morning is a sweet thing. After this line, I'm hoping you're Saturn. I would introduce you to patterns that they couldn't find. And we do it for the sour. If I wanna party with you in the infinite time, please carry on.
I feel like everybody's rolling off of something, bumping at this fun shit. Bodies glistening all over the floor. DJ, the way she hits that replay, the maximum flow easy. Got me out here speaking fluent shit.
In a world that's socially driven, seems that love is taking the just glad that we've been able to survive and weather the storm. And there's nobody I'd rather be on this journey with. Us. We.
Still the one I'm fucking. Still the one I'm loving. You still the one about you a hater could tell me nothing. Still the one I need. Woman of my dreams. Still the one I'm bringing the minute that I succeed. Cause for me, I know you ride. Your every need I'll provide. Forever shit on my mind. Forever our souls are tied. I really just think it's time. We sit and we pick a time for shit that's been on our mind. Forever you'll be my spine, right? At first shit had got rocky with the outside chatter. We blocked it out and kept it moving. That shit don't even matter. You threw that pussy, I knocked it out. Now I'm the only batter. And I'm so glad it happened. For real. Rubbing you, touching you, giving you life. Thug in the house, you can sleep through the night. Family good, all the kids are alright. Arguments happen, I'm making it right. Buy you a present, put you on a flight. Didn't get married, but call you the wife. Smiling and happy, you loving your life. Them hoes, they hating, it's all out of spite. You the one that took me from my old ways. I'm just trying to be with you the old age. You my lover friend and my homemade, my only, yeah, still.
Hey, I'm on my way to the house. Be ready and have your bags packed. We're getting ready to get out of here.
Ceremony, holy matrimony, how they want it, shit real, nothing phony, how we own it, not condoning or tolerate nothing when it come to my baby, still my lady, life is crazy, you're amazing, glad we made it, and God gave me somewhere to share something that's finally real, and you know I'm gonna hold you down from right now to until, permanent contract, it's no way I'm letting you out of the deal, and everything I said from day one live inside of me still. You the one that took me from my old ways. I'm just trying to be with you the old age. You my lover friend and my homemade, my only, yeah, still.